Welcome to Gooner Reports, your go-to YouTube channel for daily Arsenal news, match analysis, transfer updates, and fan discussions. Whether it's breaking news from the Emirates, tactical breakdowns, or post-match reactions, we've got you covered. Arsenal's dominance in the Premier League continues, and right now the Gunners are sitting 6 points clear of both Manchester City and Aston Villa. That lead was extended after a dramatic 3-2 victory away at Bournemouth. It was not an easy game, but it was a champion's performance. Arsenal showed fight, belief and composure when it mattered most. Manchester City then dropped points again, which means with 18 games still to play, Arsenal are firmly in control of the title race. This is a huge moment in the season. The pressure is now on everyone else to catch Arsenal, not the other way around. Despite Arsenal's strong position, Mikel Arteta has not ruled out entering the January transfer window. The manager has been boosted by the return of key players like Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Magalhaes, and Kai Havertz, giving Arsenal more depth and options across the pitch. However, Arteta has made it very clear that if there is a chance to improve the squad, Arsenal will be ready. Speaking in December, Arteta said the club must always be prepared because opportunities can appear at any moment. He explained that Arsenal are actively looking, even if a deal does not always happen. This shows that Arsenal are calm but alert. There is no panic, but there is planning. One of the biggest stories from the Bournemouth win was Declan Rice. The England midfielder returned to the starting lineup after missing the win over Aston Villa, and he made an immediate impact. Rice scored 2 goals and completely controlled the game in midfield. His energy, leadership and presence were the difference. After the match, Arteta was asked whether Rice should be considered among the best players in the world in his position. Arteta did not hesitate. He said that for him, Declan Rice is already one of the very best. He praised Rice for constantly adding new elements to his game, improving his role and pushing himself every single week. Arteta also said that Rice still has room to improve, which should excite Arsenal fans even more. With reports linking Rice to Real Madrid, Arsenal see him as untouchable. He is the heartbeat of this team. Now let's talk about transfers. Real Madrid. Winger Rodrigo is once again being linked with a move to Arsenal. The Brazilian stayed at Madrid last summer, but this season he has been reduced to a limited role. He has started only a handful of league games and has scored just 2 goals in all competitions. With Arsenal top of the Premier League and Arteta open to new arrivals, the links have grown stronger. Premier League legend Alan Shearer has already given his verdict on Rodrigo. He believes the winger would thrive in England and said there would be no shortage of Premier League clubs interested if Rodrigo decided to leave Madrid. For Arsenal fans, this would be a statement signing. Rodrigo brings pace, intelligence, versatility, and big match experience. However, a January deal would be extremely difficult, and this looks more like a summer possibility if anything develops. Despite all the rumours, Arsenal are not desperate. The club invested heavily in the summer and built a squad with real depth in every position. Because of that, any January signings would likely be either short-term cover or players for the future rather than instant starters. There is also a strong chance Arsenal sign no one at all and trust the current group to finish the job. Still, Arsenal do have names on their list. One of those names is Elche wonderkid Rodrigo Mendoza. Arsenal have been monitoring the young midfielder since November, and some have already labelled him the next Pedri. Mendoza would not be a first-team starter immediately, but he would add depth and long-term quality behind players like Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard. A reported release clause of around £17.5 million could tempt Arsenal to move quickly, but competition from other clubs is expected. Another player Arsenal are watching is Rennes defender Jeremy Jacquet. The French youth international has been compared to William Saliba, and Arsenal see him as a similar development project. With injuries affecting Saliba and Gabriel this season, another young defender could make sense. However, Jacquet signed a new contract recently, meaning any deal would be expensive. AC Milan defender Davide Bartesaghi is also on Arsenal's radar. Milan want to secure his future, but Arsenal are monitoring the situation closely. Although Arsenal already have several left-back options, Bartosagi's profile fits Arteta's system, and comparisons to Calafiori make him an interesting option. Arsenal's next 5 league games are massive. Liverpool at home, Nottingham Forest away, Manchester United at home, Leeds United away, Sunderland at home. The next match against Liverpool at the Emirates is a statement opportunity. Given the form of both teams, Arsenal will go in as favourites. If Arsenal come through this run strongly, the title picture could become even clearer. So Arsenal fans, the message is clear. 6 points clear at the top. Arteta calm but prepared in the transfer window? Declan Rice proving world-class. Rodrigo links growing. Young talents being monitored. The project is working. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Should Arsenal sign someone in January or trust the squad? Would you take Rodrigo at the Emirates? Arsenal head into January, not as hopeful challengers, but as Premier League leaders carrying expectation. A 6-point advantage at the summit, built on consistency, resilience and tactical maturity, has altered the conversation around Mikel Arteta's side. This is no longer about progress or promise, it is about capitalising on a window of opportunity. History shows that title races are rarely decided in January, but they can certainly be lost there. Squad depth, injury management and marginal gains often prove decisive in the spring. Arsenal's position, combined with emerging vulnerabilities among their closest rivals, has turned the winter window into a strategic crossroads. What Arsenal do, or choose not to do over the coming weeks, could shape not just this season, but the club's competitive arc for years to come. Declan Rice's brace in the dramatic 3-2 victory over Bournemouth was more than just 3 points. It was a statement of character, a reminder that Arsenal can win games even when rhythm deserts them. That result, combined with Manchester City's late concession against Chelsea at the Etihad, widened Arsenal's lead and subtly shifted psychological pressure elsewhere. For the first time in this title race, Arsenal are not chasing. They are being chased. That distinction matters. It affects mentality, preparation, and crucially, transfer strategy. Clubs leading the table in January face a delicate balance: strengthen without disrupting chemistry, and improve depth without undermining trust in those who earn the position. Arteta has spoken repeatedly about non-negotiables: attitude, adaptability, and tactical intelligence. Any January additions must align with those principles. Arsenal's immediate schedule underlines the challenge ahead. A high-stakes meeting with Liverpool at the Emirates precedes a 10-day break from league action, but that pause is misleading. Domestic cups, European commitments and compressed weeks loom large. January is traditionally when injuries accumulate, fatigue bites, and rotations are forced rather than chosen. Arsenal have already felt the cost of thin margins in past title races. Last season's late wobble remains a reference point inside the club, even if it is rarely mentioned publicly. Depth is not about luxury signings. It is about insurance. If Arsenal are to win the league, it is not enough to be good. They must also be ruthless when rivals falter. Manchester City's situation at the back presents precisely that scenario. The injury to Josko Gvardiol, reportedly severe enough to threaten the remainder of his season, has left Pep Guardiola dangerously short of defensive options. Ruben Dias's recent issue only compounds the problem. For a side whose dominance is built on control, positional discipline and build-up security, defensive instability is more than an inconvenience, it is a systemic threat. City's reported interest in Crystal Palace captain Marc Guehi is telling. It signals urgency, not opportunism. From Arsenal's perspective, the Marc Guehi situation is revealing not because they are directly involved, but because of what it says about their main rival. Palace have already resisted Liverpool's interest and, publicly at least, remain determined to keep their captain until the summer. Oliver Glasner's comments were blunt, almost defiant. Losing Guehi now would weaken Palace significantly, even if it meant recouping value before a free transfer. If Palace hold firm, City remain exposed defensively. If Palace sell, City may be forced to overpay or rush integration. Either outcome subtly favours Arsenal. Title races are often defined by who blinks first. Arsenal's ability to maintain stability while City scramble for solutions could be decisive.